Small talks. What is small talk? Why is it so important? And what are the things that we should be looking out for when making small talks? So what is small talk? Small talk is a casual, light conversation between people, typically at social events, as a way of networking or just being friendly. I strongly recommend that it's a soft skill that's worth learning. We all have experienced that there are times when people feel comfortable with or around certain people, but not so with others because of the way they talk. Their words that seems to have a magical power to put us at ease. Thus, I say the person's social or people skills are best manifested in the way how he or she makes the small talks. Certain people seem to have a gift of the gab, while others are quite awkward with it. I notice people's personality and their cultural heritage dictate their ability to make small talks. By comparison, for Asians and the introverts, small talks may not be their strong suits. For whatever reason, I've seen that they usually don't mingle well with people in international social events, kind of like inborn barriers to communication. Next, small talks disarm people. There are two sides to it. One is to reach people in a positive light to gain their trust, while the other, or the darker secret of small talk, is to deceive people to exploit their gullibility for illegal gains, such as the unscrupulous scammers who are experts in making small talks to disarm people. They're targeting tourists, for example, for services with hidden charges, or luring them to buy counterfeits which are passed off as genuine articles. For our purposes, we embrace and advocate small talks in a positive light to gain access to the disturbed people in order to help. What about small talks in the workplace? And I don't mean gossip. I believe it is quite important. Why? First, it breaks down the invisible barriers between management and workers. I still remember vividly a touching moment that happened to me when I first entered the job market working for a pulp and paper company in British Columbia. Few days later, after I joined the company, I was going to work in the early morning. In the parking lot, I saw the general manager who just parked his vehicle and started walking toward his office. Then he turned and saw me walking towards him 50 feet away. I thought he's going to keep walking, and I was so timid that I pretended I didn't see him. Instead, he stopped and waited for me to catch up. I was so nervous and didn't know what to do. Then I caught up with him, and he started making small talks to me and asked about if I have squared away everything with the move-in. I managed to exchange a few words with him, which made me feel great. 30 years later, I still remember the scene. Every time I think of it, it still warms the heart. I feel I can talk to the general manager without any barrier. At least that's how I feel to this day. Number 2, it builds rapport, camaraderie. As my story shows, I feel quite lucky to work for such a senior manager. Number 3, it nurtures the team spirit, especially among people of the same rank. People can work together as a team better. Number 4, simply as being friendly. If you are talking with a group of people, or even a stranger who you just met, it's networking to make new friends. First step, starting a small talk. How? First, pretend you know the person already and approach the person accordingly. The key is to act normal and natural if you can't. Number 2, recognize the context, the interactions between people, the environment, and so on. Use your wisdom to determine if the timing is appropriate to cut in. Number 3, look for the opportunity for engaging. Look for topics around you, the weather, the music, the food, the family, and so on. Number 4, express a casual greeting with a smile, such as, hello, how's it going? Excuse me, could you help me with this? And so on. Remember, a smiling face always eases the way. Number 5, tell a story about yourself, about your experienced interesting anecdote. I believe this is the best way to carry on a small talk and less likely to get into a dispute with people. You may have noticed already in the story that I told in my previous presentation, I like telling stories to make a point. What are the things that we should be aware of during a small talk? First one up, practice active listening. This is very critical in all conversations, and especially when you're trying to talk to someone in distress. This topic, active listening, will be our next step of the PELETE way. You need to listen in order to stay connected with the people. Number 2, mind your body language. Nodding your head or saying, for example, I hear you, I see, is that right? Without expressing your views on things. Maintaining eye contact, not staring, are helpful to keep the conversation going. Number 3, look for common topics to sustain the conversation. Something that you and the speaker both enjoy talking about. Interesting subjects such as playing golf, movies, football, and so on. Number 4, ask open-ended questions to gain more information. Questions start with what, why, when, how, what is it, why does it happen, when did it happen, how does it work, and so on. You'll get a simple answer, yes or no, if your questions start with do, is, does. For example, do you like Mexican food? Yes. Versus, why do you like Mexican food? And the person would have to say something, I like the taste of salsa. Number 5, a little flattery goes a long way. Yes, but avoid excessiveness without sincerity. It's a bit tricky. I personally like subtleties. Number 6, ask meaningful questions or the questions with relevance, which we covered this before. When to end the small talk. Number 1, when the conversation is stalling, both of you ran out of interesting to say, a hiatus creeps in. It is your signal to end the conversation, or when the conversation spirals into a heated discussion, when emotions kick in and people start getting excited and raising their voices, it is your signal to end the conversation. Or when you need to excuse yourself. Make sense? But how? How to end a small talk? First, just stop naturally. Number 2, terminate abruptly if the conversation or the emotion are high before out of control. Number 3, just make an excuse. I have to go now, nature calls. When you end a small talk, be always courteous. Show your appreciation. You can say, I really enjoy the conversation. It's very informative. It's been enlightening. If you were talking about some deep thoughts and so on. Helpful tips. First one up, apply the adequate people skills. Be sincere, be respectful, be patient. Number 2, always respect others' space, rights to their opinions. People are entitled to their opinions whether we agree or not. Number 3, embrace differences, build on commonalities so we can avoid confrontations. Number 4, show your enthusiasm with a smile, with a nod, and occasional flatteries. You can always say something simple like, "Excellent, that's wonderful. Is that right?" You don't say, "Tell me more." Number 5, mind your body language, not only yours, but theirs. Their body language can reveal some hidden messages not expressed in their words. Don't stare, but maintain eye contact. It shows that you're paying attention. Some people are too timid to do this, like they used to be. Next, caveats. Word of caution to small talks. Number 1, don't gossip. Gossips are small talks at someone's expense. Number 2, avoid or be cautious with ultra-sensitive, controversial topics, like religion and politics. Number 3, don't dominate the conversation. Let the other person speak for a change. Number 4, don't be too critical of what others say or do. Don't get too serious about what other people say. Number 5, don't hold back from sharing information. It's always frustrating when people collect the information from you without sharing theirs. Number 6, maintain proper speaking distance. Don't speak too close to people's face, very uncomfortable. Maintain the proper distance. Number 7, guard against gullibility. Don't believe 100% of what you hear immediately. If it's critical, verified. There is no free lunch in this world. Next, we've come to the end of today's session. Let's summarize the concept of to engage graphically. Starting with non-engaged. Party A is prepared with relevant options to engage with Party B. Party B, a disgruntled person who's sulking and pouting with his own relevance of harassment in the workplace and refuses to talk to anyone. At the bottom, engaged. Party A, who's respected by everyone for his impartial views on issues, exercise people's skills, making small talks to win over Party B's willingness to talk or to get connected. Party C represents most likely a light, casual conversation with friends or strangers who are happy to strike up a conversation without any specific topic or concerns. For Party D, he is not a victim of harassment, has some idea and is willing to talk about his position. Depending on the situation, the engagement process may take a while to get connected, or it'll happen immediately, such as when asking directions in a new city. That's it for this session. This is Peter Chang. I'll see you in the next. Don't forget to use your discretion to fight the raging Omicron. Thank you.